So the trailer for Mortal Kombat dropped a few days ago, and while it's not really enough to go on, they didn't give us a whole lot of information other than a few characters, and there's really no way to tell from the trailer whether or not it's going to be good or not. I thought I'd do a short breakdown of the elements that we saw in the trailer, the characters, and what I think might be some of the direction they're going with the story. Now, full disclosure, I was a fan of the original game. I was a fan of the music. I was into techno a lot back when that game came out. But I haven't played any other games. I'm not a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, but I am somewhat a fan of a few of the characters. I think my favorite character was either Scorpion or Sub-Zero, and I liked the original theme music. So with that, let's get into it. Okay, so one of the first things you'll notice when you're watching the teaser trailer is that you can hear the original theme music in the background. And I thought to myself, at first I was like, that's awesome. They're using the original theme music. But then I thought to myself, I wonder if there's more to it. I wonder if this is a hint of some of the characters that we'll see. Because in the soundtrack, the original theme song, at some point they start naming characters. So the characters that they name off are Kano, Liu Kang, Raiden, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Sonya. Okay, so with that list, let's see which characters actually appear in the trailer. So our first shot is a close-up of, I couldn't really even tell who this was. It's a close-up of Scorpion though, with his, I guess his original identity. It's just, he's turning to face the camera, and the only reason I figured out who it was, I looked him up on the Wikipedia article, and it shows the actor and who he's playing. Without that information, you would have no idea who this is, unless you're a fan of a big fan of the game. Then you can probably tell who this is. I'm not a big enough fan because Scorpion is played ordinarily in the game. He's got a mask on, so you can't even tell who he is. Okay, now the next shot, it's a wide-angle shot of who I believe is the following. Now from left to right, I think we have Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Sonya, and then Johnny Cage. Now the only reason I think Kung Lao is on, the other ones are all, you can tell as we go through, the other ones are all pretty obvious. The only reason I think Kung Lao is on the far left is because later on in the trailer, as I'll point out, Kung Lao and Liu Kang are fighting side by side. He's got a slightly different outfit on though later in the trailer, so it could be someone else. I just think that they're putting all these four in this one shot. Okay, in the next scene, we get a close-up of Sonya. She's pointing at a board, and she drops the title by saying it's an invitation to Mortal Kombat. Now the next shot, we get a close-up of Sub-Zero. It's pretty obvious this Sub-Zero's got a mask on. He's doing a thing with, it looks like with his hand to make snow or ice appear. That's his special ability. This could be a similar scene as we saw earlier with Scorpion, and I'll get to why that is in just a minute. So the next shot is what I mentioned before. You get Kung Lao and Liu Kang fighting together. It's interesting to notice. I think it's very subtle. You can see some snowflakes. So either they're on a mountain or in a snowy environment, or they're fighting against Sub-Zero. Finally, we get to the closing shot. This one was a little bit tricky for me because this guy isn't in the first game. So I actually I had to look through Wikipedia. I think this is supposed to be Noob Saibot is his name. So according to Wikipedia, I think the reason that they're including, because I was thinking to myself, why aren't they including Sub-Zero here? I think the reason is they're bringing some story elements in from where I believe it was Scorpion killed Sub-Zero, and then he comes back as Noob Saibot. He's resurrected, something to that effect. So Scorpion and Sub-Zero have kind of a constant conflict. And I think the initial scene might be Scorpion turning around to face Sub-Zero. and it's quite possible that maybe that's a flashback, or maybe they do have a fight and Scorpion kills him, and then you get Noob Saibot at the end as kind of the resurrection, or I think he was actually taking the place of Sub-Zero in the games. So it might be something like that. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm not really huge into the games. I have not read any of the comics or anything like that. So it's really anyone's guess, but I get the feeling they're kind of taking some of the story from that. So like I said, there's not a whole lot to go on to decide whether this is going to be a good movie or not. We get a few short, quick scenes. A lot of the, I'm going to say a lot of the major characters, out of all the ones that are mentioned in the soundtrack, I think the only one that's missing is Raiden. Raiden and Kano. Those are the only two characters that are missing from the soundtrack. So it's possible. I mean, we might still see them, and I think it's kind of neat if they use that as like a hint to tell you who all is going to be in the movie. All the other characters that are mentioned in the song are seen in the trailer. I don't think there's enough to go on with this trailer. This trailer is just kind of a teaser. It's meant to get people hyped. It's probably I'm sure it's getting fans of the game and all the comics, all that. I'm sure it's getting them hyped up. The good news is it's coming out on April 4th. We should get one or two more trailers before it's released, and that should help us to figure out whether or not it's going to be good. It's coming to HBO Max the same day it's in theaters. So that's kind of cool. If you're already subscribed to HBO Max, you'll be able to watch it free of charge. So that's pretty neat. Personally, I'm hoping it turns out to be really good, because the last Mortal Kombat movie, I think it was the last one, wasn't so good. The movie studios don't have a very good track record of turning games into movies and doing it well. It's not that it can't be done, they just haven't done it very well. So here's hoping that they do it really well for this release of Mortal Kombat. And that's all I got right now for this video. If you have any other thoughts on the trailer, go ahead and comment below. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified of future videos. And we'll see you in the next one.